build something of your own that no one can take away from you. Look, she walked away from 6 figures. Some people are struggling, they're trying and crying. Some of you are going to make it, some of you ain't. Do you want to be in the same place this time next year? Some steps are better than no steps. You have to condition your mind.
Do you feel like you've got a lot of masculine energy?
Yeah, I do. I was second guessing myself. Then I felt worthless. Could you imagine dying without fulfilling all the things that you want to do? That's something I fight with. And when I mean I fight with it, sis, I fight with it.
Because you get stuck.
You get that.
Hi, Ange, how are you?
I'm good.
I am honoured to have you here.
I'm honoured to be here.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much.
You're such a vibe.
So are you. No, honest, when I see you online, any post you put up, I'm like, this woman is a powerhouse. But before we do get into it, can you imagine that I don't know you? Please tell me what you do and how we got here.
Okay, so I help entrepreneurs with branding, confidence, presence, to show up, own their spotlight, and build bold, profitable brands. It's that simple. And one of the reasons why I've added confidence in there, because the thing with building a brand, if you don't have the confidence to do it, it doesn't matter how much information you know. It doesn't matter if you've got your strategy in place, you will not be able to execute it. And that's one of the things that I was seeing in a lot of my clients, that they would have the information, but they wouldn't be able to move with that information. So I had to add that in.
Okay, before we get into what you do, how did we get here? How did Ange Behind the Brand come about?
Do you want the story? Let's go way back. I won't go too back because I think the start of it, of really like finding me and knowing who I am and the direction that I needed to go in, would have been like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting sacked, was working at...
Why did you get sacked?
Oh, I didn't do any work anyway. I didn't do any work, but... I wasn't interested. The thing is, I didn't even do anything. It was a new manager came in, so I was ongoing temp at Sutton Council, actually. And a new manager came in.
What were you doing at Sutton Council?
Payroll.
Okay.
Payroll, a purchase ledger, sales ledger. So I come from that finance background. And a new manager came in and she literally gave me 1 week's notice. I don't think it was on the element of me not doing it because I've been there for I think probably nearly even 4 years.
Okay.
Right. And I was just working part-time, 20 hours because the kids were very young those days and I just really wanted to be present. I gave me 1 week's notice and I felt some type of way because I kind of always felt like it was secure. Yeah. And the council were quite chilled anyway.
Yeah.
You can kind of get away with that thing. So it was never an issue. But at the same time, I never wanted to elevate in the role.
That's interesting because you don't come across like that.
Exactly.
You come across...
Exactly. That means I wasn't interested.
Yeah, you weren't invested.
I'd watch people, what did they get? Promotions. And I think, oh, well done. But I never wanted that for myself. So, but at the same time, I was definitely like the woman at the time. I was just in the clubs every week. Like, and I was okay with that. Yeah. I'm that, you want to call it Insta girl? Insta girl.
Really?
Like, I used to go hard on, stand up.
So you would live for the weekends?
Yeah. Yeah, literally, like any motive, I'm there. Every house rave, I'm there. I just wanted to dress up and to look the part. What it looks like instead of what it is. Yeah. I was very much that. Let's keep it real. Yeah, and that's because I just wasn't exposed to anything, so I didn't know better.
Right.
Do you see? So, I got sacked, and then my friend came to do my insurance. Yeah. This bit is just like, I had insurance in place, life insurance, but it was with the bank, so it wasn't great. It was something small. When they sell to you on the phone.
Yeah, like a 20,000, 25, yeah.
But he was like, Ange, I'm not gonna lie, he told me the commission. And obviously, those times I've just been sacked, crying on the phone to mum, like, what's going on? What am I doing next? And
how am I going to go out next week?
How am I going to, what are we doing? And he told me the commission. And I was like, this makes sense. Like, and you're a hustler. Because regardless, before that, I would sell on eBay. that's me. I just I get it in. Do you see what I'm saying? So it was never really, I just work part-time. It's whatever I can do on the side as well. So he was like, yeah, you're a hustler. Come on, do this. Literally jumped into that. I wasn't scared about the commission only. I'm not scared about things like that. I've never done sales before, and I didn't know how well I was going to do.
I can immediately tell you're a saleswoman.
You think?
Yeah, you're so personable.
Okay. So
your
maybe,
energy,
I learned that about myself.
People just will automatically be drawn to you, I think, and trust you.
Yeah. I think trust is super important in sales. And like straight away, I grew to team leader. Then I grew to manager.
Wow. So what were you selling?
Life insurance.
Right, okay.
Private healthcare, income protection, critical illness.
All of it.
And I was really, at first it was about the money, but then I became really passionate about it. And more as like there was claims and stuff. Like, I've had 5 clients Black women diagnosed with breast cancer. Sadly, 2 passed away. The other 3 got a payout. Right. So I done something great. Do you understand? So it got really deep, and I'm just so grateful that if I didn't reach out to them or I wasn't online, because that's how I ran my business. I weren't doing no cold calling. Right. I'm not a cold calling girl.
Right.
So I had to work at this, how the brand building started. Right. Because I had to work out a way that I'm going to make everyone come to me.
Right.
You see?
Okay.
So
look
I'm
how
like,
God works.
do you see?
Yeah.
That's how it started. So
wow.
I worked that out, and I just used to talk about, and especially more, I wouldn't even talk so much on life insurance, but more on income protection, because I knew that was one that people didn't know about, and only advisors can give that. Yeah. Do you see? So it was that, but it was a great time. Like, I was around bosses and, they're driving Bentleys and Ranges, and they've got houses in Essex. And
okay, so now we're starting to see.
Do you see where we talk about surrounding, Sharice? Like, do you see how important it is, the people that you're around? That was the start, or I would have never known.
That's amazing.
It's deep. It's actually, when I think
that's
about
amazing.
It, it's deep. Yeah.
So you're basically, your whole mindset shifted.
Yeah. Yeah,
you were exposed to something higher.
It was in Canary Wharf. We had offices in Canary Wharf. I was
so no more Sutton.
No.
No more Sutton.
Every day, sorry. And I miss those days. That's why when I do have an opportunity to dress up, I do. Because I really enjoyed the side of, like, you'd have to have most days is you're suited and booted and heels. Yeah. And I'm driving to Canary Wharf because that's me. I can't take the trains. And I used to pay £23 a day. But you're making so much money, does it matter? Yeah. £23 a day was absolutely nothing. Didn't feel it at all. So it was beautiful.
That sounded like a good time.
It was, until it got, people want you to do well but not better than them. And even though there's people above and they will always earn, so there's still like a pyramid scheme. Right. It's a pyramid scheme, but even though it's insurance, so it's still like a Viva, all those solid brands, Zurich. But they created a structure, that brokers created a structure that the people you bring in, you earn from. Right. So I used to earn from my team.
You must have been living life.
Oh, their incentives were like lubes and stuff. Like lubes, belt, just for them to pump up for the month.
Seriously?
Oh, it was a time. It was a time. It was like, I think about it now.
So how did it come to an end?
Do you know what? I was doing, so teams will go against each other. Right. And it also, COVID happened. So before we used to visit clients. Right. And then we had to get on the phones. So that meant that your reach was wider. Right. So you're earning, like you're speaking to people on the phone. So it was so much better. But what happened was the director at the time, he just became greedy, and it became very cultish in, like, you have to be in at a certain time. So now it became employment. Oh no, I had to be in at 9 a.m. Sometimes I remember one time I nearly crashed my car just trying to get there on time because he was so strict. Right. And it was ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I'm a very submissive person. When I see someone that's at the top and I want to be there, I will listen.
Yeah.
I'm a student.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, because you've got proof. Proof is in the pudding.
I'm happy to be a student. Yeah.
Exactly. Why wouldn't I listen? So, and I think they preyed on the vulnerable in a sense of people that never had.
Right.
So when you start to see, you don't want to lose that. So, and I was never really disrespected because other people were, but I was never really disrespected because I always exceeded what they expected of me.
You performed.
Exactly, I performed. But there was a time when we had teams, and I was mainly female. So I had the mothers. They bring the kids in. So I always say I will get an office. When I get an office, I will have a nursery or something in there because I know how hard it can be as a mother. It's not easy. I used to be like with Ella. I used to hold her son. She used to bring him to Canary Wharf. I told her why she's on the phones taking calls. And those it's just beautiful times. So what happened was there was teams and we was going against each other.
Right.
But most of them are men. Remember, this is a men-dominated industry. But I managed to let the women come and they done well when they're with me. And we just kept on whooping their ass. I'm going to keep it real. We mashed them up. And the ego just it's gone down. How's she doing this? Mashing them up.
How were you doing it?
I don't know. I do you know what? I'm not going to say I don't know. I just think it, honestly, is God. And I'll tell you why. Because December 2019, just as we was going into the new year, I prayed for change. And I didn't go out that evening. Normally I'd be outside and I didn't. But it happened really quickly because by February, I'd already done 8K worth of sales, which means I'd received about 4K in my bank account. I've never received that. Remember, I was working part-time. So I just think it's how God has positioned me, but the direction now I'm here. Do you see? So one day, we kept on beating him and the energy, the atmosphere, I'm an energies person. So the atmosphere shifted. And even if you wasn't in my team, I used to help people. So everyone really liked me. And I think that month, because I could feel it, I didn't work well. In the group, said something like, because all of the girls as well, you're pigeons. Something rude. Hey,
what?
No, I feel like when you said my foot.
What do you mean?
He said something rude. I wish, because it's on old phones, I wish I had that message because that message was the game changer of life. Something like you pigeons didn't work. You lot are no, I'm telling you that word pigeon because he was quite a nasty character. He used to be nasty to everyone else, never me. This was the first time I saw a different side of him. But I think he was testing. He used to read the book Art of War. So he's very much like, so I know now, I understand.
Mind games.
And then the 48 powers of law, like never exceed your master. Do you see? Like, let's really think about this. And he wanted to test waters, I think. And I think he thought I was so like engrossed in the money side of things that I wouldn't. Let me tell you something. I remember I made the call to my girl Kels and I said, yeah, I'm out.
Seriously?
Honestly, I just said I'm out.
Away from that.
Yeah, I just shut my laptop. Because you know what it is? At that time, I loved money, but I wasn't a dickhead for money. Do you see? Sorry, excuse me. Guys, I can't keep it real. I'm not an idiot for money.
No, that's good though.
Exactly. That's what he didn't realise. Yeah. So he was in shock because you thought you were playing chess.
Yeah. Money won't take you.
Do you see? But already I was kind of, I think if I remember speaking to like other brokers and things like that, and where I was quite sought after, they knew that my online presence and things like that, like they were offering way higher, like, I mean double commission. Right. Like they were robbing us blind and we didn't know. Right. But they kept us, when I say it's cult-like, they kept us kind of away from all of that for any other opportunities. And then, I left and then like the head boss, the guy that owned it.
So what year was this that you left?
2022? 2022, maybe 2023. No, 2022. Ending of 2022, I would say. Okay. I left. and the big boss, but I didn't actually officially leave yet.
Okay.
So I'd left. So I said, I'm not coming back. And the big boss, the guy that owns the broker, is a white guy, owns the broker. And he called me and he said, come in for a meeting. Remember, they're missing out on money now. If I'm not there, come on. You're not going to let someone that's bringing in so much sales go.
No.
And he just said to me, all right, go with blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Which was another director. And I loved him. He interviewed me. I just adored him anyway. He always looked out for me. He was a lovely guy. And I went with him and it was fine. He gave me my own office with a view, everything. I didn't have to pay half, but they're like 5K. So I still had to pay half of it anyway. But the team was good, but something wasn't feeling right.
Okay.
Something wasn't feeling right. And then I just said, I'm gone. I'm going to this next broker's.
Right. What do you think? What was that? Just spiritually?
It's definitely a spiritual thing.
It was time to go.
It was time to go.
Right.
There was more for me. But I didn't realise at the time that it was what I need to be doing now.
Right.
Because sometimes you're not in tune, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fully. And then I ended up going to I've been to 3 other brokers.
And how was it there?
Nah, never the same. Never the same.
So you're feeling unfulfilled. The money's good?
Yeah. Look at me.
Because
there's no limit to what you can earn.
Right.
So if you want to say this month I want 50K, like just and really put your head down, you can.
You could.
Yeah, no one's holding that away from you.
Right. So, but the money is just, it's not satisfying anymore.
No.
You're wanting more. What was that call? What was that deeper call, do you think?
It's just, there was more for me, and I think I more wanted to explore happiness and peace and purpose.
So good.
Sounds straight, and that's when I learned money isn't all to life. Obviously, you need it. Let's not act.
Yeah.
Let's bring this in.
Let's not go too far.
I like my nice things and stuff. I'm not going to act like it's not that. Yeah?
Yeah. I feel you.
I also need to be happy. And I'd put on a lot of weight. I put on altogether whilst they're 6 stones.
That's a lot.
6 stones.
That's a lot of weight.
Because all it was is they used to put drinks on the table. We used to drink. We was in Canary Wharf, earning all this money. I used to eat out. Like, you get breakfast, lunch, dinner there. They used to leave there sometimes till 12 midnight. 1 a.m. I'm getting home.
Yeah.
I've got kids. There was an element of neglecting my kids. Yes, they had it all, but I wasn't present.
Yeah.
When I look back, there's so many. And I don't blame myself, though, because I still feel like I needed that. But you look back and you see the errors of your ways.
And just complete side note, but like, you've got an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
And I found my daughter's going to be 30 next year.
Yeah.
And I
30?
found 30. My daughter's 29. She's going to be 30 in Feb.
Wait.
30. Well, I had my daughter when I was very young, 15. But what I found...
You only had one?
Just one.
Why does that happen when... I've noticed a lot of people that have their kids young sometimes, they only just have that one.
Yeah, because traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Do you know what? I wanted to make something of myself because so many people said so many horrible things. I was like, no.
Girl, we need your story.
But what I found is when you have, the older your children get, the more, tell me if you find this, the more you start to sit in guilt. Yeah. And I can only kind of relate to other people who've got older kids.
Yeah.
Because the guilt starts to lick you. I don't know, maybe when they're past 16.
But it didn't matter so much when they were younger. Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. But I
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
All the things that you worked hard. I know I worked hard. I was, even dropping her off at the babysitters.
Yeah, me, I think. My son, I always say to people, I went back to work. He was what? 7? I think he was. Nah, I'm lying. He was 5 months old.
Yeah.
But I had no choice. I was single.
No choice.
I was single, so
I get it.
I had to, and I'm always like that. I've got to work, regardless. So And I look, and he kept on being sick. I remember. And they can't be in for 48 hours, and I'm just vexed, And
No, I feel you. Because I'm not one of those stay-at-home mums.
Nah, that's not me.
So I need to be out. But
Yeah.
you know, like you look back and you think, oh,
Yeah.
could have done better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
I agree. There's definitely those times.
There's time, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to insurance. So you moved around, what, three different brokers?
Yes, altogether I went to 4, all of them 4.
You weren't feeling it? Something in your spirit was just not settled?
Double, even triple commission.
So, like, where would you being pulled to?
AngeBehindTheBrand, what I do now, I was. Because
How did that start?
But I've got a fashion and textiles degree, which many people don't know about, that I went and got when I was 28. So my mum deterred me away from doing that originally. So I am a creative.
So it's always been in you?
It's always been in me. So, and also with regards to building my brand online, I also made the other ladies in my team do the same.
Right.
So I was already helping people, but just
tell me about that.
Finance.
How did you create a brand online for insurance?
Just more about going on podcasts.
Right.
And talk about the benefits of having insurance. Remember, I'm a single mum, so I used to go to like events. I'll have my banner, my clipboard, suited and
So
booted.
you were serious?
Yeah, I'm just strategic. I'm all about strategy.
Yeah.
How do you make everyone come to you without you?
Yeah.
My whole thing is attract, don't chase, and I stand on it. There's no salesperson that can come and tell me anything. That's not me. Don't force me to be up in people's DMs. I'm not going to do it. But what I will do on the basis of how I brand myself and how I show up and the things that I say, you will come to me.
Sis, you are so good at branding.
Thank you. I really love it. I haven't even hit my peak yet.
That's so interesting.
I haven't. Honestly.
Okay, so from the insurance, you were branding yourself.
Yeah.
And you were teaching other people how to brand themselves.
Yeah, but I was in leadership as well. We'd have meetings. So it's all a part of that. There's still the element of coaching, isn't it? And that's everything that I'm doing now. So it kind of all set me up. And I just kept on hearing God tell me, like, build something of your own that no one can take away from you.
Oh, I love that.
You're going to have to start from scratch. You've got to start from scratch, darling. Because all of these, even though self-employed, commission only, there's all these hierarchy systems and just, FCA regular. It's a lot. It can be a lot. And I feel like I had the ability to build something of my own. And we talk about being, at top of the value chain and things like that. As I think sometimes people don't think about that. Because I always get asked to like go in network marketing on time because I'll smash it to pieces.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also the person that thinks, but maybe I could build that from scratch and create the same system.
Right. Okay.
Because the top person earns.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I want to be the top person.
Yeah.
And it's not on a status thing.
Yeah.
It's more on the understanding how it works.
Well, I think you're just a natural leader.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
how did AngeBehindTheBrand begin?
Oh, Kelly, my girl, she named me that. I remember I was doing behind the scenes and she was just like, AngeBehindTheBrand. And I wrote the name down. I was like, that name's lit.
It
10
is.
out of 10.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm someone, I like names.
Yeah.
So I like things where if I made a comment, someone think, who's that AngeBehindTheBrand? Click. So before that, She Talks Finance.
Right, yeah.
I like...
Yeah. So what about there? AngeBehindTheBrand. So you were already thinking to yourself you wanted to create something.
Yeah.
So you're speaking to your gal cows.
She said, yeah, go on. But it took me 2 years to do that.
Why?
Was it? No, because I was still in insurance when I thought about it, actually.
Yeah.
But it took me, I was second guessing myself. I didn't have
Let's
the
talk
motivation.
about this. What, like, motivation in what way?
I'm used to foots on my neck. So when you're in the other brokers, they leave you to it. It wasn't the same atmosphere. Right. It wasn't, we used to have office parties. It was the environment. We were like a family.
Yeah.
This way say cult. Yeah. Like, because you think, you've left them, you kind of nothing now. Do you know what I mean? So there was that element. And I felt really lost and I didn't know where to start. I had a lot of savings, but I was going through it, living the same lifestyle. I didn't want to adjust. Yeah. I didn't want to. And I just think as I saw it going down, and I just got really depressed. I got really depressed. I got really low.
Really?
And yeah, I'm overweight. And even though regardless, who get it twisted, like I'll be big and I'll still show up. I don't play like, you'll never know that I feel any type of way. I know what suits my body. So I believe in, you know, showing up, you know, working with what you've got whilst working towards what you want.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't working towards nothing.
You didn't have any motivation?
None.
No.
Because I was on my own.
No vavavoom?
Yeah, none. And I feel like the whole crew was in that space as well.
Right, okay. Okay. When did it change for you?
I don't think it really changed. I just knew I had to move. So I also had a community called the Rich Girl Way, which was a women's community. And I used to, you know, give them daily motivation. I used to do, masterclasses.
Okay.
That's subscription.
Right, okay.
So I created that. But as I'm transitioning now, so I know I want to leave finance. But as I was transitioning, it was all overwhelming. And where I'm, I want to help everyone. So people who was direct messaging me, I became really overwhelmed and I just shut it off. Like I literally shut it off. I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Because I needed to move.
Right.
And I had to work out, what does the big vision look like, and break it down into steps. What can you start with?
Right.
Bearing in mind you don't touch any more savings because there's barely anything left. What can you start with? And I started with brand shoots because I needed photos. Some of the girls around me needed photos. So I said, let's split the costs because I know that people need to see. And I straight away after that, I put out a package. We had a photo shoot. People can see. It's AngeBehindTheBrand now. Changed the name. And I put that photo shoot
What was it before?
She Talks Finance.
She Talks Finance.
Yeah.
Then you changed. When did you change AngeBehindTheBrand? When did you change it to?
I think it's a year and a half now.
Right.
About a year and a half.
That's such a powerful name.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what does AngeBehindTheBrand actually do?
Oh, gosh, from coaching in terms of confidence, presence, positioning, visibility, that boost that you need, that
If I was to come to you and I was to say, Ange, help me, what would you do? Tell me the steps.
Right, first of all, you need to be clarity. You need clarity.
Yeah.
You can
What does that mean?
anything. Clarity is a better understanding on what you want to build.
Right.
And the steps to build that.
Right.
What's your brand message? What is it that you need everyone to know? Because you have to remember, building a brand, it's not about you. People think it's about you, especially when you are selling something or you have an offering. It's about others. It's about your target audience.
Okay, because I think a lot of people are getting their business and their personal brand confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying there's a personal brand and there's a business.
Yeah.
Both are very separate.
Yeah.
And you will help them separate that.
It's not necessarily help separate. So you have to, all right, let me give an example. You, Charisse.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you. But you've got, let's say, the business that you do.
Yeah.
Now in terms of the supported living homes, but also you might do coaching. Now you, Charisse, are leading them to both, either or.
Right.
So that's why I always say to people, start off with their personal brand before they're building a business page.
Why?
Because being the face of your brand is more profitable in a sense of you don't need to run ads. Like I've never ran an ad.
Okay.
Because people buy people. We're in that time now.
Okay. Well, then tell me, how do I build my personal brand?
What you're doing already.
But if you were to tell me, if I wasn't doing anything already, what would you be telling me?
I would have said, first of all, you need to be clear on your message. Who is it that you want to help?
Right.
That's number one. Who are you targeting? What are their pain points? And how can you create solutions to their pain points?
Okay, imagine I have a candle business.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want to build my personal brand so that I can sell my candles. Take me through the steps of my personal brand.
So what I would say with regards to that, how did you end up starting your candle business?
I was really stressed.
Okay.
I was really low. And I bought a candle one day and I lit it and I laid down and the smell allowed me to be at peace along with the flickering light, and it helped me meditate and calmed me. So I thought everybody needed this in their lives.
Okay, what you just said is what you share online.
It's that simple.
It's that you keep repeating the story.
It's that simple.
It is that simple. You keep repeating the story.
Don't want people get fed up or bored?
No, because there's a way to do it. You can't, you just got to think of, I call it brand pillars, your pillars. And part of that is your story is key. Remember, people buy people and they love the emotions behind it. The reason they love a brand story. So you saying about, you know, the candles, it released my stress. You can then talk about stress. How did you get stress? How did you make the candles as well? There's so many, you can break it down into small pieces that people weren't realizing that you're repeating the same message.
Right.
But really it all ties in together.
Right.
So that's, storytelling is key. So I very much talk about 6 years ago, I got sacked.
Yeah.
You know, someone came to do my insurance and they offered me this great opportunity. Do you,
Connect the dots.
Connect the dots. And then look, she walked away from 6 figures. Who does that? Like, who walks away from 6 figures? Do you know what I mean? And it's all of that. But she thought she had it, you know, she had it all planned.
Yeah.
But then suddenly she became very depressed and she was attaching money to her worth. Losing her confidence.
Yeah.
Put on so much weight, had to realize she had to really focus on herself, pull back from everything, everyone, and just get her head down, and then boom. Like, but there's so many elements, because I can talk about my weight loss journey, and that inspires others.
Yeah.
And I could talk about being quite depressed, like how did I overcome that?
Yeah.
And I could talk about second guessing myself.
Yeah.
And I talk quite a bit on things like that, like knowing that you are that girl, you are that guy, that you are 10 out of 10. You have to condition your mind.
You really do.
You have to, I talk to myself,
really
you know.
do.
I don't do all that soft affirmations of I am loved. That ain't doing nothing for me, sis. That ain't doing nothing for me.
You need something stronger.
Listen, I need a bad up.
I'm a harsh talker kind of girl.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
So I'm attracted to people. So I come across like that. Like I will say... Yeah, like I told my girls, my Own Your Spotlight girls, like I've got a group of ladies and I said, some of you are going to make it, some of you ain't. And I'm going to be honest. And I talk like that. And if you don't like it, that's absolutely fine.
Ange, I'm so the same. But a lot of people hate me because I speak that way.
Doesn't matter. That means they're not your people, because some people, my coach is really blunt and I need it raw, rough and ready.
Same.
And that's it. But it doesn't matter if they don't
like tough love.
Same, tough love works for me as well. So we're kind of going back to branding. I'll definitely say first is clarity, kind of building your story as well, and showing up online and being visible. And one of the things that I say is you don't necessarily need to jump on the grid straight away, but be visible in your stories at least.
Okay.
So even when I was transitioning from She Talks Finance, I hadn't really had the full clarity on Ange Behind the Brand. I was still showing up on my stories, you know, which is super important. And sometimes you don't need to be like, oh, I'm back, or, you know, when you've gone away, but just let them see you're back, isn't it?
Do you know, like doing that, I'm back, or the big announcement, I'm leaving, what do you think about that?
I don't like it.
Me either.
I'm back from where? No one knew you were gone, babes. That's actually one of my content I haven't put out. No one knew you were gone. They didn't know. They didn't know. But what they do know is that you're inconsistent.
Oh.
Do you see?
Where you come from? You don't come for me in my bed. What? No, stop it.
This is it. So, I don't like all of that. Just show up.
Okay. So you got to be clear.
Yeah, clarity.
What after that?
Brand story.
Right.
Market research. I'm someone that I like to find gaps. So looking at other people, what they're doing, who's similar, but finding gaps and how you can do it better.
That's so good.
People don't like to do it because, I don't need to do it because I know I stand strong, but it doesn't matter. That's how I found I give all of my raw images to my clients. Many photographers don't.
Right.
So that's what makes me different. Also, I offer styling as well.
Right. Okay.
I organise your whole everything down to the concept. You just got to show up.
Right.
That was because I'm talking about that more because that's what I first started out with.
Yeah.
But I done my market research.
Right.
I looked at other people because my point is what makes me different? Why shouldn't they just go directly to a photographer? Do you see?
Yeah.
So there's that, and it's knowing.
So you filled a gap in the market.
Yeah, I'm big on that on everything. Even when I think of my events.
Do you know what? That's so good because I think a lot of people try to do something completely out the box, or they copy.
Yep.
And if you just, because I'm the same actually, when I think about it, like no one's going to be able to create the wheel.
Yeah.
It's already been created.
Yeah.
But what can you give that isn't currently being given yet?
Yes. It's literally that. Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Sorry.
So that's so good. That's so good.
In everything that you create, just try and find a gap. I always say that because right now, online, it's noisy. I find it really noisy. Everyone looks like they're trying really hard. Do you know what I mean? And they are. There's an element, you know, we've got
to try hard.
We've got to try hard, but it can be overwhelming for someone starting out.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you do need to have a strategy in place. The only reason why I would say that, because some people it works on a win, like, and some people are struggling, they're trying and crying. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And how many times are you gonna? Content's not easy, so if it's not gonna work, do you know what I mean?
You're trying and crying. Stop it, because I've been there. I've been trying. I've been crying because it's not
not
hard.
easy, but it's working out for you now, though. But that just shows you
it is
consistency, though, Cherise. And what you talk about is something that is not spoken about as much as well, I would say, especially from a woman. And I think it is your personality as well. You do not do the whole going into that really like stiff mode. So you're relating to people. You're relatable.
Yeah, I hope so.
You are. You're relatable. Just by you showing up, how you are showing up. Remember, this is your brand. You know, you don't have to be, I always say to people, you don't have to be suited and booted and really make it corporate.
Yeah, but sometimes I go onto your page, right, when you put up a fancy post and you've got all of these beautiful shoots and I'm like...
But mix it up.
Yeah.
You don't have to just do...
Yeah, that's
true. You
true.
don't have to just do that.
That's true.
But it's a good starting point because you're kind of creating that noise. And not even that, you're positioning yourself as the expert, which is so important. But then now it might be like some edutainment type of stuff, which kind of, those stuff can go quite viral sometimes, which brings more people in. Yeah. And then I would say storytelling. Like it would be great to know like a bit more about you and how you got here. Do you think? How did you... It's key. That takes things to the next level. Okay. You'll be surprised because I was surprised when you told me you've got a 30-year-old nearly.
Really?
Did not see, I went, what?
I thought most people... No, I thought I made that... Maybe I don't. I'm quite private, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's absolutely fine because kind of like depending on what it is you want to do, but if you really want to take this to the next level, then... And you don't know, you might pivot as well because you know life... Might just suddenly saying you're doing this, you're doing that. And that's one of the things that I was able to do is everyone knew me as She Talks Finance, but they still accepted Ange Behind the Brand. That's why personal branding is key because sometimes you can build a business brand and they only care about what it is you're doing in that business. But if that was to fail or anything was to happen, you'd have to start again.
So good.
Think about it. This is why personal branding is key.
Okay, so be clear.
Be clear. Build your story. What did you say? Marketing.
Find the gap.
Find the gap. Find the gap. What's your USP? Right. Then we're gonna go with.
Is filling the gap your USP?
It is. It kind of ties in, but that's more. I think with USP is like. No, I take it in a little bit more of knowing exactly what makes you different. Right.
What would be your USP?
Oh gosh. You know what? My USP, I've got a few. I would say with the brand shoots is doing the styling. Right. Being able, remember these are businesswomen, not influencers. They're great at business, but they might not be great at kind of like how they present themselves. Plus, sometimes they might just want to change as well. And to be able to have that advice is so important. So I know that being able to give Roz, the fact that I'm organising the whole thing and all they got to do is show up, that's number one. Then we've got, I don't believe that this is my key one, is as much as it's doing all of this stuff like getting clear, you know, market research, USP and all of that, it's about the confidence. to be able to execute that. No one ain't touching that in branding. I don't believe. They're giving you all of this. Oh, this is your target audience, your pain points, all the technical stuff. That is great, but if you don't have the confidence.
Sis, talk to me.
Do you see? Massive one. And what it is, and this is why it's good to start. Just start whatever you're doing and work it out as you go along.
Yeah.
Because I started to look at the fact that some clients were having photo shoots, but their photos weren't going online.
Mm-hmm. Why?
So I'm like, because they didn't have a plan, or they might put one picture up, but then there was nothing happening after that. So what is it that I could do there? How do I fill that gap? Yeah. So then you start looking that little bit deeper, more closely. And that's how you start building services.
Right, I love it. I love it.
And that's how I've
It's
built
like
services.
you're organically scaling your business.
Yeah, on the basis of needs.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so in regards to confidence, is it something that's part of the package or an additional?
So what I do, everything I do now is personalized.
Right.
So I used to do packages,
Right.
but I realized there's needs that are different for others.
Right.
So for me, there's always going to be a base
Okay.
anyway. So if you want the basic, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Technically, but if you want add-ons,
Yeah.
and you do need the confidence, and you do need me to hold your hand,
Yeah.
for 6 months and all of that, I do that.
So it's bespoke.
Yeah, it's bespoke.
What if people don't know they need it? Is it something that you can pick up and say, you do need this?
Yeah. And that's why I stopped just kind of like pushing more the brand shoots, because I feel like a client that I was speaking to, a potential client I was speaking to today on the phone, and I said to her, actually, you don't need a brand shoot right now. And I don't mind saying that. I could really try and sell. I said, you really need to focus on your brand strategy, and you really need to focus on a content strategy as well. And that was it. I think in terms of her confidence, it's there, but probably just more accountability. She's someone that when she's got the clear plan, she will execute, I could tell.
Yeah.
So it's just offering the services on the basis of their needs. And that's why I offer the free clarity calls, because number one, I don't necessarily want to work with everyone. Might not be able to help you. I don't care. Not all money is good money. I've learned.
100. I
don't
agree.
care. People can say you're wasting time. You should just put the price, put it there, let
No.
people book. No, I don't want to work with everyone. And that is like my rule.
Yeah.
So I need to get a good vibe, good energy from that person. And then we can take it further. So I offer those 15-minute clarity call. And I believe
Not for just them, but for also you.
Yeah, for myself. It's for myself. I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know that.
Nah, I don't know, because money's spiritual. Okay, so how has this just come so easily to you?
It's not been easy though.
No?
I wouldn't say it. Do you know what? In terms of me being able to just do this,
I just feel like you've got this natural ability to identify.
yeah, that's a gift.
It's
It's a gift. It's a God-given gift. I'm telling you now, I can have a phone call with someone, and my head starts ideas
can
start
see
popping
it.
out of my head, and I don't even need to write notes like that. It is. I already told the lady I was speaking to today, and I already told her, you're going to do way more.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a gift. It is my God-given gift. I've realized that you start to know yourself and being able to help others. And I just like to add value to people. I do it. I've been doing. Do you know when I realized actually, Sheree, I've been coaching for years, but there was no money on it. There was no money, and then I've decided to put a price on it now. And that's all. I've been doing this for years. People come to me for approval.
Yeah.
Whether it's
There's something about, I can't, like, the energy that you bring. I can't even, yeah, babe.
Hey, God's anointed.
There's something, like, I don't know, you're very trustworthy. You're just very easy to talk to.
Yeah.
I feel like you're very transparent as well.
Yeah, extremely.
So
extremely.
Yeah. But tell me about the business journey, because like this can't be, even though you make it look easy.
Yeah.
you make it look sexy.
Yeah.
You make it look fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, tell me about the stuff that no one sees. So earlier on in the conversation, you said you didn't have the room to start.
Yeah, I didn't. And that was money.
Right.
And I'll tell you why.
What, because you had it?
No, because I saw my money going down and I'm a perfectionist. So what I'm doing now is more not even to my standard. Honestly, when we talk about spirit of excellence, and that's because even though, you know, I'm earning well, I'm different. I'm a different person. How I manage my money is different now.
Right.
I've adjusted. I needed to adjust. There was lessons in what happened to me in losing so much.
Right.
So now we don't do that, where there's even a strategy in that as well. Yeah. And it's just about just scaling nicely.
There's no rush.
And I think it's good to bring people on the journey. And I think it's about starting with what you've got. And that's exactly what I do. Use what's in my hand at this present moment, because it hasn't been easy.
So you've started Ange Behind the Brand, right? You pushed yourself despite being unsure yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite not feeling 100%.
Yeah.
You said you gained weight.
Yeah.
I mean, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill.
But I know in the gym, me too.
Yeah, hello.
How do you put that aside? How do you put your feelings aside and focus on the plan? Focus on the goal?
I say a lot of things to myself. Do you want to be in the same place this time next year? Do you? Some steps are better than no steps. And it's also a feeling of knowing that you're meant for more. And sometimes it is a fight. Like I'm not officially diagnosed with ADHD, but I have blatant symptoms of them. Let's keep it real. Like, admin can take me so long on something so simple, because I just want to be in my creative space. I want to choose the things that I want to do. So solution there, I got a VA. That's it. Do you understand? So I just think you get to a point, you have to get to a real low sometimes to then be able to build yourself back up and to make those steps. And I think a lot of what was holding me back in terms of the procrastination as well, procrastinating a lot, is the perfectionist, being a perfectionist. You're
a perfectionist.
I am. I could move on designing, I could move a line for an hour until it's perfect. I'm just like, girl. Even me, when I talk about like that flyer for Defensive Money.
No, that took me. That's a wicked flyer. Did you create that?
Yeah, I do everything. I do it myself. I can't let go of it. So that I can let go of my admin, and that's taking me time, because I'm a control freak, and I do, like Kelly always says, that stems from childhood. Like, I was in hostels and stuff. Left home at 16, so I've been on my own.
Right.
So I think, you know, and I had my son at 19.
Right.
And it was just me and him. So there is that control element where I'm very...
That's a whole nother story, sis.
That's what I said. If we started, that's why I said, let's just start from the relevant stuff. But if we go way back, you start to realise and recognise the control side of things and the masculine energy, let's be honest. You know, the men like to say that a lot.
Do you feel like you've got a lot of masculine energy?
Yeah, I do.
Do you feel like that's needed for a woman in business?
I think it is to some extent, but it's also knowing how to switch it off as well. I don't know if there's a way to create balance, but I feel like I'm trying to be more in my feminine energy more, because masculine, it's all quite tense, isn't it? It's all
heavy.
quite, that's the word. It's heavy. But it's the element of not trusting anyone else to be able to do it, because you can do it. It's that, and that can be quite, I am single, and I think men yeah, that can be quite intimidating.
I've got a couple of questions to ask you on the business, but how do you find dating as a business owner?
I think it's hard. I think it's hard because I'm in a space now. I just want to spend all my time on my business, if I'm honest, and I'm really happy to because I really enjoy what I do. So it's hard to find the balance, but at the same time, my kids are getting older. Do I want to be on my own? No. And I feel like because I have that way, which doesn't help when dating, or I've got it together. Because one thing with me, I'll go on a date, and of course the man will pay, but I have Vex money with me. I'll never walk out with no money.
Yeah, standard.
Are you crazy? But that's not good.
Do you think?
Apparently it's not good. Because Kelly's like, my girl Kel, she's like, no man, what do you mean? Because they're going to pay. Yeah,
they're going to pay, but you're never going to put yourself in a situation.
But why would you think that you're going to be in that situation though?
Just in case. You never know. But then I'm a 360 thinker. I'm thinking about everything. I'm thinking about
control. That's me and you are very similar. Very similar. It's a control because there's other things I wouldn't pay anyway, and I wouldn't need to have money, but I would never go nowhere if I didn't.
No, I'm not going nowhere.
I'm not going anywhere because I need my, and I know men are intimidated by me. I've been told so many times, that there's an energy, and unless you can match it, and I think some men are quite intimidated by that.
You're a strong woman. You can feel that. So you're going to need a very alpha man.
So alpha, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and alpha men, they're hard
I love
them too, but they're hard work.
They are.
They're hard
work, and I think they're hard work because we need to soften for them to some extent. Do you know what I mean? And like it's funny because remember I was doing a pod before with Kels, and Wes like, Ange, like I worry for you.
Why?
Because he's like, yeah, it's peak. And I've taken a lot of those things on board because of course I want a companion. Like this would be so much easier if there's someone just rubbing your shoulders and say, go on, babe, go on. And I'm rubbing his, go on, babe. And I am a motivator. But there was a time I was even a builder man. But them ones aren't intimidated at the time. The ones that ain't really got it together are not. And I think, no, but they could do this, they could do that.
Yep.
Then I start
you see all their potential.
You see all, babe, potential. No more. I've stopped. For the last couple of years, I've stopped that. But that, I am that because, and it still really ties into what I do in business.
Yeah.
I always want to fix someone.
Yeah.
I always want to fix someone.
You can see how much better they will be.
How much better they would be.
You always want to fix someone, and you do.
Yeah.
Right, that's very, very clear. What have you struggled with in business? If you were to give me 3 things.
I would say, I'm going to say consistency on content.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that because that's not of laziness. That's more on, I want it how I want it.
Right.
We're going back to perfection. Being a perfectionist,
it's dangerous.
That's something I fight with.
Yeah.
And when I mean I fight with it, sis, I fight with it.
Because you get stuck.
You get that. So even me sitting in my front room doing that, I don't want it like that. I want it like this.
Yeah.
But I'm also know it's got to make sense because I'm very much in that space of securing my future, like really like invest, just doing so much more with money. So using what's in your hand.
Yeah.
You don't need anything right now. And that's only because of where I am.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm being strict with myself. So I would say that's definitely one of them. Boundaries.
What do you mean?
In boundaries in terms of
you don't have any, or
the boundaries are not there with others.
Tell me more.
So in terms of like, I'll put that boundaries with value as well. So knowing that you can help someone and you might know them, they don't have the money.
Right.
You'll still help them.
Right.
Baby girl, we ain't doing that no more. That's Ange. I'm gonna help everyone. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Pour myself dry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Dry to where I had no energy to focus on myself. Yeah. And you have to understand, some people, because of who I am and how much I pour, and I'm a battery. I'm like a battery. You know, I'm often described as a feeling, you know, and I can give you that boost instantly where you feel better.
I can account for that.
Some people will be around you because of what it is, not because of you, what it is you can give them as well.
Yeah.
Don't get this thing twisted. Don't think I don't know. I know. So it's about having more discernment in knowing who is actually really for you and who isn't. Who just needs you, needs that energy, who wants to take. And I've just got the rule of exchange of pouring. Ooh. Exchange of pouring. If it's an exchange, we're good. I can help you. But if there's nothing that you can help me with, baby girl, we ain't doing that.
Do you have a lot of female friends?
Yeah, loads.
What are you, when we say a lot, what do you mean? Are they your friends or are they your acquaintances?
All right, I've got a lot of acquaintances. So I would say I'm someone, you know, where it's like, I don't have many female friends. No, I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. But I'm also someone with male friends as well. Yeah. So I've got like 2 really close male friends. Yeah. Like I like to have male friends. But in terms of like people that I hang with, I'd probably say about maybe 7 and my cousins as well. Let's go with 10 altogether. Do you see? So there is still quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got, what did we have? Perfectionism.
Yeah.
We've got boundaries.
Boundaries and what is it? Worth. Did
you always know your worth? Or is this something that you've learned?
I always knew my worth. So I've never lacked in that part. But until I was no longer earning what I was earning, then I felt worthless.
That's interesting.
Because that means a lot of my confidence
came from
money at that time. Because you couldn't
chat to you.
You couldn't chat to me. I'm being honest. I felt good at that moment. Do you see what I'm saying? And then when it is that the double figures are not hitting the bank, and don't get me wrong, I've always earned, but then you might see like 500 and you're kind of looking at it like, oh God, I could spend that in a moment. Like, so you're not even grateful. You're not even having gratitude because you're used to, so you're saying that's nothing. Dangerous, very dangerous game, so dangerous.
No, honestly.
And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. And I would say that's only like, 2.5 years ago?
So that's now no longer the case?
Of course not. No.
Okay. No. So what do you pin your worth to now?
My worth now, if I'm completely honest, comes from my relationship with God. And knowing what my calling is and the vision that he has placed in my heart and being obedient to fulfill that vision. And that's it. That's it.
How did that relationship with God?
Oh God, it's so beautiful. And this is where my girl Kelly comes in, because her mum is reverend.
Really?
And I'm really funny with churches.
Yeah. She doesn't take me as a woman who was brought up in church.
Who cares?
Yeah.
She's not Christian.
No, I didn't know. I wouldn't have got that vibe.
No, she loves her God. Yeah, she does. And yeah, I was really funny with churches because my brother was in a church that was definitely a cult, and he went away for 10 years. We didn't see it, or like times my mum did see him. Awful. He was walking past my mum, things like that. Like, yeah, so when my son was 1, he went away and we didn't see him for 10 years. Back now, and I went to that church. That's a lot. He invited me to that church and I went with my son, and they were doing all these things. It was like a deliverance, but they were trying to like say things about my mum. But I'm very headstrong. So you see with me, you can't talk about my mum. Yeah. And, you know, I can think of it, no, but my mum's done this. You just know. Yeah. But I think he was a little bit more probably like weaker in the mind, you know, without, you know, really bringing that down. Tough. Yeah, because what he was being told was being told to me. And I was only at that moment of that church. I remember just collecting my son and walking out. That's it. We ain't doing that,
We ain't
darling.
playing that game.
That's it. So I was really funny with churches. So used to go to Sunday school, everything. Grew up, but just went to Sunday school. You know, never really had the relationship with God. Probably pray more when I was in trouble. All of that type of thing. That God help me, please. All of that type of vibe. And then
them lukewarm Christians.
Yeah. And then because I trust Kelly, I then trusted her mum. And
That's
that
beautiful.
made me comfortable. And the church is very come as you are.
What church is it?
Oh my God. Torchlight Ministry. I don't know why it went in my brain. Pearly.
Okay.
No, Riddlesdown. Riddlesdown.
Sonstead.
Way. Yeah, Sonstead. Yeah. It's there, so it's very come as you are. It's not judgmental.
Okay.
It's just about God and having a relationship with God and understanding the word.
Love that.
So I think, because that's the thing, you can go to certain churches and it can be very, judgmental and, even though they say you're not supposed to judge and all of those things and a bit hypocritical and you just don't know what's true and what's not. And, so yeah.
It's funny because one bad experience in the church, it can make you turn your back on it forever, which is so sad.
It's such a shame, and that's why it's important that people actually have try to build a relationship with God and not on the person who is representing God. Yes. Yeah. Do you see? Because sometimes if you're following that person and you
make
see them
idols out of them.
Exactly. And that's where we get things wrong. And I think just in general, it's not about the pastor. Yes, they are there, but it's about understanding it yourself and learning for yourself, because that's when you'll know if something's correct or not.
So Kel's mum got you back into church again.
Yeah.
And you rebuilt your relationship with God.
Yeah.
I love that's beautiful.
Yeah, and then that's when I realised that when I was leaving insurance, that gut feeling was actually God telling me go, because afterwards the whole broker, I didn't even say that bit, the whole broker shut down. No. And then people were on the blacklist.
No.
That means they couldn't sell insurance again. And where I was high up, because there was some real crooked things happening there. Yeah, not necessarily me, but like the higher. Yeah, and they went down the pan.
So we got you out just in time.
Yeah, come on, and everyone else. So we was able to go to our brokers. Yeah. People couldn't get into other brokers. So that's when I was just like, okay.
God's got me.
Because imagine, I was fine. I had the office of review. Yeah, I'm good. Do you know what I mean?
In Canary Wharf.
In Canary Wharf. I used to, oh God, I said I'm getting off of right there. So that is just such a feeling. I'm sorry. I love all of that. I am that girl. I like structure. Yeah. I struggle with I feel worthless being at home sometimes. Even though working for my laptop, but I am an office girl.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I love it. I love getting up, routine, gym. Did I shower at the gym, put on my clothes, go to. I want that.
I get it.
I want that. I need my office.
Yeah, I like the office, and then you leave work behind.
It's that, leave the work behind.
Yep.
Without just, because you end up working longer sometimes.
Yeah.
So we pay, because I definitely think I should get have a content space as well. I think it does make sense. So we'll see.
But can I ask you, you said you're not even where you want to be.
No.
Where do you want to be?
Oh God, if I tell you.
What's the vision?
The where I want to be in terms of what creativity.
Where do you want to take Ange Behind the Brand?
Oh, to a next level. There's so many elements to Ange Behind the Brand. Me, myself, and what I'm able to do. I need to get back into fashion. Fashion is my heart. Yeah. That is in the core of my stomach. And really? I will shake things up with that. Because I probably will, I like to very much stay in line. So it makes sense for me to create business wear, but not boring business wear. We're going to do you know what I mean? We're going to bring some sass over.
I love that.
And I love designing. I'm really good at that.
That's your degree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Design and textiles.
Textiles as well. So even fabrics,
so I just love
that. I can design, I can sew, I can do pattern cutting. Do I like sewing? No. Do I like pattern cutting? No. Do I like the element of design and then hand it over to someone else? Yes. That's what we'll be doing, sis. Designing and fabric.
I can see this for you.
Yes. again, traveling, going to look at that, creating sample. That's what I haven't got there yet. But, and this is what I'll say to anyone, have the big vision, have the plan, and create the strategy or the systems in place to get to that plan. Because like I said, like a goal is just a goal. But if you have no systems in place, you'll never really reach that goal.
Don't you ever feel like sometimes this is too much?
Yeah.
What do you do when that happens?
I just think to myself, could you imagine dying without fulfilling all the things that you want to do?
Yeah.
And I think it's important
Living
to every
in
now
regret.
and then, give yourself a prep, but you need to also be still, and you just need to have a moment sometimes. So even when everything's really like fast in your head, but you know you've got so much to do, but just going like this, just watch some Netflix. Back to back to back, and just say, I'm not doing that. And it sounds crazy, and that's really hard for me because my head doesn't stop. I used to say I didn't feel like I used to sleep at night, like there was many ants in my head going around, like chiseling. Like think of loads of ants, like a million ants in my head, like chiseling at my head because I'm constantly thinking, and that makes you tired. Thinking makes you tired.
Mental burnout.
And I used to have those regularly, to where I used to shut down.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm only learning to control that now, and it's a lot with just having faith. And I feel like as I'm in this season, and I've just got everything at a great, it's really great right now, and it's a lot to just faith and believe in, and literally just staying in the word, and just taking time and really listening to God. But the whole empire, like, it's crazy. And the thing is, I never doubt myself. I know I can do it. But I also got to tell myself, pace yourself, because you can get overloaded and you can burn out. So know yourself for who you are. Don't watch what anyone else is doing.
How difficult is it to stay focused on your own goals and not peep over and look at what someone else is doing and then compare? Because
I think it can be difficult. Go on.
I've found I've peeped over.
Yeah.
It's like when I started my business that I've got now, I had to come offline. And because what can happen is you can peep over and you can be like, oh, they're doing that.
Yeah.
And then it makes you feel like absolute shit with what you're doing.
I've done it. And, or like someone that's doing something similar to me, but they're doing it, I think, better.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to I think it happens to the best of us, but at the same time, you have to know what you bring to the table.
Right.
And that's what makes you you have to really know how lit you are, how like that lit, there has to be a level of delusion as well, that they can't do it like you. The sauce will never taste the same. Like you, and the thing is, as soon as you do it, you,
and it's not like conceited.
No.
It is you. It's like if you want to have a business and you want to succeed, you have to have a level of delusion.
Yes.
To allow you to remain tunnel vision. And even if you do peep, which you will.
Yeah, every now and then.
Because we're human.
Of course.
And we have a moment, like say, during our cycle, you're feeling a bit sensitive.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm very sensitive.
And you peep over and you're like, oh, that's better.
Yeah.
You have to be able to bring yourself back, right?
Yeah, 100%. You have to.
You have to be a bit crazy.
You have to be. In this game, you need to be crazy.
1000%.
You need to be crazy, and you have to have a lot of belief in yourself. And you've just got to separate yourself from the rest and just,
All right. You've got somebody you're working with.
Yeah.
Their confidence is low.
Yeah.
Right? What would be the top 3 things you would do with them in order to increase their confidence for them to...
I think more, all right, let's go to the root. Because sometimes lacking confidence is the reason behind it. And many people don't realize, and it's working out how you can change that and what are the steps. I think steps for me, I'm not gonna lie. What are the steps to changing that? So for me, if like I have a lot of people that, oh, I'm going to do my shoot. Yeah, I really want to do it, but I need to lose weight. All right, sis, you've been saying that for 2 years, darling. You ain't, do you know what I mean? And and it is what it is. Me, I never cared anyway. I'm still going to have my shoot. Like I said, work with what you've got whilst working towards what you want. And sometimes the confidence is also, people's confidence being built is having someone there as a reminder, like reminding you. Sometimes you do need that boost, just a boost of energy every now and then, and someone that you can confide in and kind of like approval of what you're doing. That's confidence as well. Yeah. Having approval on the things that you're creating.
Yeah. Like your own personal cheerleader.
Yeah, your own personal cheerleader. But someone with trauma and things, I don't go that deep. Yeah. You know, there's other people for that. So that's why I said I do need to speak to people. Yeah. We don't go that deep. But if we're talking about surface level confidence, in that there's things that you can do to change that, and you're lacking self-belief and they just need that boost and that encouragement. And most of the time, confidence, when people are lacking in confidence, because they don't have clarity, you know?
That's so true.
Because you see how clear I am now?
So true.
You can't chat to me at all. Like, the way I'm so clear, but the times when I wasn't clear is because I did, and that's when you start watching other people, because you're not as clear.
That's so true.
It all ties in. When you're not clear.
That's so good. Be clear.
Be clear. Being clear.
Because even if you do kind of wobble, you get back to your...
Yeah, the plan's there.
Yeah.
Because you're clear.
Yeah.
You're clear.
Okay, so what are you working on now? You've got an event coming up.
Yeah, new friends, new money. My baby.
So you've done this event before?
Yeah.
I've never been.
3, yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah, please.
I'm very excited. What is New Friends, New Money about?
Right, so New Friends, New Money is about women coming together.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
Connecting organically.
Yes.
So not on the, hi, my name is Ange, and this is what I do. We're not doing all that. We're not doing stiff. Yeah. So it's an environment of good energy, good vibes with other women. And I like that clickbait name that I've given it, New Friends, New Money, because you think it's about an exchange of money, but it's not. However, it can be that as well, but it's very much about the love and support you can get when you're on this journey. Whether you're a driven, you know, like career woman, whether you're a business owner, you're going to need good people around you. Yeah. And I even mean down to reposting your content. Yeah. Just a little words of encouragement. Yeah. And those are the things that I have on lock.
Yeah. You got a strong community.
Yeah, really. Do you know, that's what I said, it's not about following. People think it's about following. It's people with followers. I've had clients with followers, they couldn't convert nothing. Yeah. They can't convert at all. There's a difference between an influencer and a business. Yeah, following is... I'm telling you now, do not watch following. I'm about engagement. Yeah. Engagement is key, and that is what needs to be looked at. And that's it, because that's when you know you've got riders with you.
Yeah, you've got a strong ass community. Like,
considering I don't have a subscription or anything like that, they go the way that gets reposted. Have you seen me barely promote it?
No, you just put out one post.
Okay, it's nearly sold out. But then again, what is it that I needed to create from that? A feeling. So what did I do? I created a swipe so that they can get a feeling of what that event is. A carousel. I need to tell you what the vibe is. I need to write. I've got to let you...
Yeah, but sis, people do this all the time. They don't get that engagement. They don't.
It's over time, though. I've been online for 6 years.
That's not that long.
I created that page from scratch. I created that page 6 years ago from scratch. And I've got another page, which is my personal page. I've kind of locked it off now. And that's like on about 4K now.
But 6 years isn't a long time.
No, it's not. And I'm not even... You'll see, I'm not the most consistent person online.
The stories you are, I think.
Extremely.
Yeah. You always...
Extremely. I think stories are really personable and you really build trust with people. Like, I talk to everyone. Like, if you respond, and I keep a balance. I don't do the whole keep talking about business.
You mix it up.
I mix it up. I'll post something funny. I would encourage people to just be yourself. Yeah. And I think that's where you get good engagement as well. Yeah. Because people respond at it. Right. And then you talk to them, and I'll be like, and I very much respond on, like, if it's something, I'll say, good morning, sis, have a great day. Something really simple.
Yeah.
But I'm letting you know, I don't think I'm above you.
Yeah.
We're not doing that, darling. That these are my values that I take very, very seriously. Remember where you come from, and don't ever get too big for your boots. And I have to keep those things. Those values, I have to keep them with me.
They're important to you.
They are so important, and I don't think I'm better than anyone. And if I can help, I will help. And it's nothing to do, because it's bigger. When you're purpose driven, it's bigger than just money. It is, isn't it? It's bigger than just money. And well,
when it's purpose driven, it's like this is what God wants you to do. You know, so there's something higher than you. And you take it seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, let me ask you, we're coming to that. I can't believe it's gone by so quickly. If you had a dream client to work with, who would it be?
Oh, a dream client to work with. I like Coach Stormy.
Oh, I love her.
I'd like to work with her.
Yeah.
I would want to work with her,
Yeah.
I like Emma Green.
Oh yeah, love her.
I adore her. They're two different people, but I still like. I like a bit of everything. I like a bit of. You know, in males.
Oh yeah, who would be?
Yeah, because I do males. I do male shoots. Like I done.
Do you?
E-Man's. E-Man, the financial advisor.
Oh yeah.
I need to repost. I need to post him back up again.
You need to post this.
I did him. I've done like 2 other property guys as well. So I do men. They definitely come to me more for the images and like promo videos and stuff like that. For the men, who was I? Oh, what's his name? I love him, and he runs next to the car. Oh, what's his name?
Is he very slim?
No, he's muscly. Oh, look, there he is. Ashton. That's his name, Ashton. Look, this guy.
Check that out. Okay. We've come to an end.
Okay.
It's been absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Having you here. Before you go, can you just please give one piece of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are already in the game that you think is imperative for them to know?
I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, I'm going to leave them with this. When you are second guessing yourself and you think that they think you are doing too much, is because they're not doing enough. I'm telling you now, you take that on board, because anyone that's doing enough wouldn't be watching you. And sometimes we can second guess ourselves because, you know, the behavior might be too enough. Because honestly, it's like I will have I want to wear my sunglasses. I don't care. I want to wear my sunglasses. But sometimes, us as women, we don't have that energy or what's the word? We think that, we're doing too much, and it can happen. And sometimes you can align yourself with others as well. So like, say if you're going out and there's a group of you, and you know, sometimes you might check like, what are you guys wearing, whatever. Everyone said they're wearing jeans. Hello, sis, today I feel like a dress, I'm gonna wear the dress. Like, stop and like, do what you want to do. And this is what I'm talking about, being bold, you know, being confident, owning it, sitting in it, like, and just not caring.
Not giving a...
That's when you'll get really far. When you don't care and you just know that you're that girl, that guy, I'm telling you now, that's when it's a game changer. And I feel like when my confidence went back up for when I got myself back in the gym, you know, I've already lost like 4 stones.
What?
Yeah, I've still got, like, what have I got another? Yeah, I've still got, do you know what? I'm not even doing the stones whole thing, to be fair. I'm trying not to. And it's more on a body, like how I feel as well. But yeah, I take action. Take action. You have no choice. Take action. And if you need a coach, you need help, Go and get that. Put your money where your mouth is. There was a time I shouldn't have had a coach. I don't care. Yeah. I know I need a coach because right now I feel stuck. Yeah. Bet on yourself. And that's what I was saying.
I love that.
So we went really into some.
No, I love it. Bet on
yourself.
Everything you said, I 1000% agree with. And whenever I've betted on me, I've never regretted it.
Yeah, amen. See?
Ange, thank you so much.
No, it's been a pleasure. I knew you was gonna be like this.
No, you are even better. Your energy, everything. You are just. I understand why you have an amazing community, an amazing business.
Thank you.
And I am so excited to see how you scale your business and, this fashion.
Yeah, NTD, never turn down.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, NTD. That's my motto. I've got it tattooed on my hand. That's my life motto. In every area of your life, be great, never turn down. Just don't turn down ever.
I love it.
Yeah.